Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing a festival tier list on every single fest unit. I'm just going to start this right away. I know he's not a fest unit, but he's a Lost fan, so I just figured I would just throw him in just because he's garbage. I'm just going to start that out. This is PvP only, and from my experience, if I have, seen this unit and I've played against it and I've just absolutely demolished it, then it's pretty bad. Like, I don't know, like a lot of these units in my opinion aren't that great. Like a lot of them are outdated. Like him, I think Lost Fan isn't garbage. I think he's definitely mid tier. Obviously there was just leaks for Fest King's Holy Relic. There could be a chance he could come back, so by the time you're seeing this, it's only 3/9 or March 3rd 2022. So if it's past this and his relic made him really good, that's why. Lost Fan, he's just really squishy. He doesn't even have that great CC, and even if he gets his ult off, if they have like a singular Margaret buff or anything, like you're just not killing. Unfortunately, you just can't really wipe anymore, and it's really hard to get your ultimate unless you have like a taunt unit. But there's so many buff removal units and like Gothers that just stops from getting your ultimate. It's just like, and his card is never really crit either way. He doesn't have that good crit chance compared to the enemy's crit resistance and crit defense. Goddess Liz, I think she's a pretty mid-tier unit in top-tier PvP as well. She has one team other than being CC, which is the Archangel team, which is pretty good. So, I mean, if you want to rate that team, then yes, that's good. But that's literally because of Margaret. Margaret makes that team 100% in my eyes. Also, if you guys are curious, I don't have the actual cut-in for the new Diane. Diane is the Ragnarok Diane. I should have said that at the beginning, but that's going to be what it is. I really hope I didn't skip a fast unit. I very well could have, because like there's so many. Zeldris. I knew it. I knew I was going to forget one. Zeldris. Before Bon, I believe. Almost forgot. I think that's everyone. And now Eskenor. Okay, also, I'm going to just do this. I think Goddess Liz is better than him, and obviously, yeah. Eskenor, he's mid. He's so bad. Unless he gets to turn 3, and he has a bunch of cards in his hands, which he usually does have a lot of cards. I will say that his like card pulling rate is absolutely absurd. It is easily the most meta unit in terms of like pulling cards, right next to the Chad King. But he's just not good at all. He is absolute dog shit in my eyes. I can't. Whenever I see him, I'm like, oh, a free win, cool. Like unless he has Goddess Liz, then Eskenor's dead like first, maybe second turn, but he's usually dead. Assault Melee, I'm gonna put him. I don't know. Like he is pretty mid for most players. But at top tier players can definitely win. Like I know my friend Godspeed, he's an absolute like crackhead with this guy. He plays like top 10 in ungeared PvP. I don't know if it's like a top 100 over there. I assume it isn't, but he plays really, really high with Assault Melee. Obviously Sigurd carried the team. Sigurd and Chandler, I believe he ran, and he plays really, really well with it. But you have to be a really, really good player, and I'm going to just base this off of everyone. So in my eyes, if you aren't an absolutely amazing player with Assault Melee, he's a very mid-tier character. If you are amazing with Melee, then he is probably a great character. I would not say meta in the slightest, though, but that's as far as I would go. Alright, now we are on to Merlin. Merlin has really fallen off. Like, the only unit that I would be scared to face a Merlin with would be Eskenor and Goddess Liz. Like, she just can't crit anyone else. I mean, I guess also Lost Fan and King, but like, I haven't used those units in months. I think she's great. Obviously with the Amelia team really brought her up, the ROM, or now you can run Zeldris in the back if you run a bunch of debuffs. I think Merlin's just a great unit. She's a pretty good overall fun unit. That's how fest units should be. I don't think we need an absolutely broken, busted unit every single month. And that's why I hate people saying, Diane is bad, she's not meta breaking. It's like, bro, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? People want to have fun in PvP. People don't want to be rocking the same goddamn team since freaking Eskenor dropped. Like, I still see people using Eskenor, Green Gother, Goddess Liz. Like, get a life. It's a boring team. It's not fun. we have Zelda. In my opinion, I think he's meta. Only because of his passive. If he did not have that passive with the ignites, he would be absolute dog shit. Obviously, he's only a backline unit. He does do damage when he's in the front, but it's always super underwhelming. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't like hit hard, if you know what I mean. Okay, but like, I think it's a triangle in terms of the best fest unit in the game in PvP right now. Bond counters melee in my eyes. King counters Bond to an extent. Like, if you just don't pull King cards and unlucky. And then melee counters King very, very easily. So yeah, that's just my eyes. Those are the top three in my eyes. Like, they're just absolutely insane. I think the number one, I think it goes like this, to be honest. In terms of rankings, I think King is definitely the best, and then Bond, because it's not Bond and just Bond, it's Bond and Terry and Arthur with all their holy relics. Like, King doesn't have a singular unit on his main team with holy relics. Bond has an entire team. So yeah, it's kind of just a little bit skewed. Margaret, I think she's a great unit. I honestly think she's above Merlin. I think she's truthfully above Merlin. Now, obviously, if you run into a Fest Gother team and you're against Merlin, you're probably going to get absolutely screwed. But if you face like a Bond team, you still have a really good chance at winning. Also, this is based on every single unit being 100% max, 6/6 everything. This is not 1/6. This is none of that bullshit. This is top tier 6/6 units. 6/6 Margaret is absolutely insane. You make it so you can't cleanse. You make it so King can't remove your buffs. You can't remove his debuffs. Bond doesn't have a rupture. He can't use his buff card. He can't do anything. Like, Margaret is an insanely cracked unit, but she's just kind of fallen off a little bit because Fest Gother's around. You know, obviously a pretty hard counter. She is fairly squishy. Like, unless you get a rank 3 buff, it's like, I really am gonna lose now. It's kind of like having Lilia without Kyo. Like, it's just like, I could win, but it's so much more difficult. And, yeah, that's just my eyes. Kuzak, I think, is a great unit. Like, he counters a lot of the meta units. You know, Bond, he does really well against melee. He does, like Pony Eye King, does really well against melee because melee increases all of his stats. King, Kusai does pretty decent at, not amazing, but he can still work, especially if you're running Trader Melee, 2 single targets, and you can kind of evaporate King. Does amazing against Lilia, you know, one of the best units in the game, literally top 3 units like every single week. So yeah, I'll put him in great. I don't know if he's above Merlin. You could probably just like switch these two, if anything. And now we're on to Fest Gother. I don't think Fest Gother is meta whatsoever. I don't think he's mid. I don't think he is mid, like, whatsoever. I think he's above Cusack, but I don't think he's above Merlin. Like, he counters Margaret, yes, I will say that. He obviously counters Margaret, because, you know, buff cards and then Margaret's AoE does essentially nothing. He can make it so that you can't get ultimate with his rank 2 AoE, or if he gets his detonate card and he has 3 ultimate gauge, he uses the card and then he drains you. It's pretty nice. But I just don't think he's meta. I think he's a pretty good unit, just not meta. Yeah, and now on to Diane, which, is there a red Diane that I can use? Like, just because that way it's red. This one is so ugly, this cut in, but I guess I'll use this one to be honest. Diane, in my opinion, is like top tier great. She's not meta. She is not meta. Not in the slightest. Like, these units just slap her. Not Zelda. She's obviously just a backline unit. But I think she's like right up next to Margaret and Merlin. Like, really, really good unit overall. I know that people are saying that you can just like swap them like with Diane and Gother, but like Diane's taunt with Merlin or with Margaret is absolutely cracked. If you guys didn't watch my showcase, it went insanely well. I faced every single meta team in the game and I won every single match, except one game I cut out because I drastically misplayed, and I thought I had enough ultimate gauge to remove a Teriel, and I accidentally did not. And then he ended up ulting me with a rank 3 and a rank 2 taunt, and I died. But yeah, this is my opinion. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna get mad because like, oh, the one Eskenor is the best unit in the game. Oh my god, I really like Lolly Merlin. I like Lost Vein. Nobody says Lost Vein, but for Diane, I'm putting her up here simply because once you get her passive going, which is probably, it is pretty difficult, obviously, because the best teams that I've seen is using King, even though I don't even think that's like the best team in my opinion. I think I found a really good team with Margaret and Keo. You know, you get ignites on the opponent, you use Zeldas, you increase their basic stats, and then you just have Margaret to be able to cleanse away any debuffs, like any other Keo ignites. You get the dissolve off. It's just a really well-rounded team, and obviously Keo is absolutely busted, but with Diane, she has the highest CC in the game, so you have a really good chance at going first. She tanks really well. I don't know why people are like, oh, she doesn't really tank that well. She does tank. Also, why do I have negative garbage as the tier list? But she tanks really well. Once you get her passive going and she hits like the 300 to 400,000 damage, she starts destroying people like no other. The best way for me to put it is, you don't want to be super defensive the first turn or two. Unless you're facing a Lilia, you most likely are not going to get one turn. Like, you just won't. Unless they get like the double rank 3 double bullshit, which is super stupid and should never even be in the game. I just don't think that should even be allowed in terms of card RNG, you know, where they get like the double rank 3, King gets the most impenetrable shield of all time, Eskenor gets 2 rank 3 bonks. It's stupid. I don't think that should even be allowed in the RNG system, but it is what it is. But realistically, unless they get those godlike merges, like, you're not killing Diane. Like, I see this everywhere. Oh, Eskenor one-shots Diane. Oh, Meliodas one-shots Diane. I got hit with a rank 3 amplify first turn after he used 2 single target cards, and nothing happened. Like, actually it was second turn, not first turn, but either way, like, they don't kill. Diane is super tanky, especially if you actually build her. Now, the only unfortunate thing is her ultimate. Her ultimate is pretty subpar, and that's why she's not meta. I truthfully think she would be meta if she had an amazing ultimate, like AoE power strike like Terry, or literally just adding shatter or something with her ultimate. And if her healing started at 50% at 1/6, she would most likely be a very good unit, possibly even meta. Probably not better than Bond, because Bond is still an absolute just truck, because the entire team has goddamn holy relics and Diane has like 0, except for, I guess, the Keo on my team has a holy relic, but that's about it. She destroys King. Her rank 1 destroys a rank 3 shield. Like, it barely does a little bit of damage, but it does just enough to break it, so if he does have his ultimate, you can just shatter right through it. Meliodas has no protection against Diane. 2 rank 1s after she gets pretty built up just destroys him. Bond is realistically the only meta unit that beats her. Now everyone's like, oh, but Eskenor is a blue unit, he can kill. No, I haven't lost to an Eskenor. I haven't lost. Like, Eskenor is an absolute fragile piece of pudding. Like, he is not that great in my opinion. And that's realistically why I think Diane is better than a lot of these Fest units. Like, you can easily swap these two in and out of the places. Like, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, Gother hits hard. Like, yes, Gother does hit hard. But I just think that Diane's taunt really, like, because if you increase her HP related stats, that's her lifesteal, her recovery, all that stuff, just so that she, once, if she does live, she's gaining a lot of HP, especially if you have a Tarmia link on her, she's gonna shoot right back up to full HP. I'm thinking about doing a Matrona team with her, which could be pretty freaking gross. But yeah, this is my tier list. Comment down below what you guys think are wrong. Like, I have so many conversations with people saying, why do you think the one is great? And they're just like, he hits hard. How does that make a unit good if he dies first turn? I don't get it, but either way, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, and hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. I'm going to be having a bird guide coming out. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Diane demolishes the bird. Like, it makes it an absolute joke. I want to do the deer, but without her being 6'6", because she got shafted on her ultimate, you just get no heals unless I run Matrona and Diane. the point of Diane is to make Matrona replace, so probably not. Never mind. Peace out and take care.